Hey everyone, it's Jason. Welcome back to another unboxing for Kingdom Rush Elemental Uprising. This is for the Dark Elf Slayer expansion. So, much like my other Elemental Uprising things, I bought the Elemenace Chest, so I have everything in one box. I don't have the single box for this, but we do have all the different components and all that, so we'll be going through this. This is what I called, like from the original game, I called it the Versus expansion, which is what the original ones, because it was like hero versus villain, and that's what you got, boss. This is the same idea, they just gave them different names. This is Dark Elf Slayer is actually with our brand new hero, Regison. So we'll get him. We are also going to get some brand new boss cards, which we'll look in there. We have Bajniman. We'll have some new Twilight Brutes, which are champions. We get new champions. We have some more special other cards. We're also going to get some Ashbite and Briseg cards and miniatures, some more Rift cards. We'll get into what those are a little bit later. New Horde cards, of course. All our extra different stuff there. Yeah, so definitely cool. We're going to get some brand new stuff. So we're just going to go ahead and hop in and look at our brand new hero right away. Oh, and it already fell over. So we have Regison, who's one of the Twilight Elves, but he decided to join the heroes instead. So we get a nice Dark Elf here. Some energy daggers. It's pretty cool. Alright, so that's what we have there. Then, of course, he's going to have his board, which will have all his special stuff on there. So we're going to see his basic attack is two single tiles of little knives, but it does true damage. So that's one thing he does that lots of the other characters don't do. He'll do true damage right off the back. He's got 3 health, 3 movement. Activate our hero. So he has, I will have my vengeance. If Regison ends his move on a horde that has no damage on it, he may perform an additional action. So that's pretty cool. Maybe and somewhere else he just could do extra damage. So if he did attack and then move again, he'll get to do a second attack. So that's his whole thing. So it just says here, it says he has a unique ability that allows him to perform 2 actions in a row. He always moves only once and may only perform a second action if he ends his movement on a new non-damaged horde. In both actions, he may perform basic attacks, special abilities, or rest. He may perform basic attack twice, or, for example, rest, and then he may perform any special ability. He may never perform 3 actions. So you can't do an action, like move to an empty tile, somehow do another action, move to another tile. So he's only does 2, but it's kind of cool. It gives him little double abilities. But again, he could attack twice, hit 2 different tiles, or he could rest up, refresh his ability, then move to a different tile, use that ability again. So that's pretty cool there. He's got some neat stuff there. Then he has his special abilities. We're starting with Eldritch Heal. It's definitely looks like it's going to be pretty good. So right there, he does 1 damage to something in his spot, and then he heals all his wounds. Eldritch Blade. Melee attack. It does 1, but now he moves 2 spaces. So this is kind of hit something. Then he can move, land in an empty space. Do that. Attack again. You have Vindicator. So he gets his special 4-cross thing, which has perfect range, so it can hit anywhere. This special ability costs 2 actions to use. So yeah, this basically means he has to move somewhere. He ends his move on a turn, so he can move to an empty tile. Now he has 2 actions to spend, so he can now use that to attack twice, or do something else, or he can play his Vindicator ability. It does a cross damage. There's Eldritch Slash, which lets you place 2 double tiles. These attacks must be placed on 2 different hordes, but they're hit in any direction. So that's actually pretty cool too. Again, he could move to one spot that has no damage on it, use this ability to hit both areas, and then attack the spot that he's on as well. So pretty cool. And again, he'll get his own tray and tile and all of that fun stuff that he needs. And then he will have his solo card. I really love these solo cards. It's a really nice way to do it. I should actually put the solo cards in the character things, but I haven't done that. Just that way they're with the rest of the tokens and everything. Let's see what he does on this side. He has does 2 damage. After using Regicide for the first time, put his miniature on this card. You may use him from the bench once again, then return him to the game box. So he gets to do his double attack a second, like he normally would. Cool. So then the next thing we have are our Dragon Tower mods. So these are going to look like regular towers. So they originally were supposed to be mod stickers, but then they decided they were going to be too big to use as actual mods. Like, as the stickers it came on, like our regular little stickers. So they turned them into full-on towers. But they're going to be this. It's just, there are two new tower mods in this expansion. There are definitely other tower mods in the base game or other expansions. They're not reusable stickers, obviously. When you want to buy young Briseg or young Ashbite tower mod, pay 2 gold, then remove any of your towers from the game. Put it into the box, not the market, and either take one of their cards on the Briseg's cards and his tokens, or Ashbite and his miniature. Add to your cards. These 2 towers can't be upgraded or receive any other mods. So yeah, they basically are replacing another full mod. So you want to make sure you don't replace something you've modded already, because those don't transfer. But then they're going to work like regular towers after that. Then you place them down. If you place young Briseg, he does magic damage, his perfect range, and he does fire damage. So these are just in the regular sorting out. They go in the tray with all the regular general tower tiles. So you can find all them. Yeah, it does 1 damage. So it has a little splash symbol there too. So it's kind of hard to tell on there. So it does 1 damage to each horde adjacent to this one. He can never deal more than 1 damage to any 1 horde per attack. It deals magic damage cards which tower mod acquired him. So even if you get rid of a soldier mod, he's still considered a magic mod. But yeah, it deals 1 damage to any horde on the map and to each horde adjacent to this one. So it does a little bit of splash damage. So just some decent amount of damage. And if we flip over to the other one, we have young Ashbite, who does true damage. His mod may be placed on any valid building site, the color of its owner. It is never picked up and stays on the building site until the end of the scenario. So you have to be very careful where you place him, because you're not going to be able to put something else there. And also make sure you probably don't place it on top of a soldier one, because I would imagine you can't then pick this up, so you can't get that soldier one underneath. Neither heroes or other miniatures may be placed on top of young Ashbite's card. Also, no towers may be placed on this building site for the rest of the game. After placing young Ashbite tower mod, put his miniature on any space adjacent to this card. So we do get a little tiny dragon miniature. It was originally supposed to be a meeple, but they made it a miniature, which works really nice because in the base game we also have the cat or panther, and not the base game, Rift in Time, the original. So it's kind of cool, we got another little tiny miniature like that. From now on, he may move up to 2 spaces during the phase, play towers and hero cards. He may cover enemies just like any hero, and deals true damage and has protection. Once played, Ashbite stays on the map. He can't trigger any environmental features, bossings, lava pool, etc. He can't attack bosses. All other effects, he counts as a hero. So basically, he's like a powerful soldier. He just to keep moving around. He always has protection, so he won't take damage. So he can either sit on one spot and do 2 damage, or he can move to another tile and do 2 damage there. Yeah, so kind of neat. Extra little different way to do mods. And I really like this as an idea because it brings in just a new element to something to do. So the sticker mods are really cool, way to like upgrade towers, make things a little bit better. I really like this damage. I'd like to keep it, but I can do this to mod it, make it better, versus having to maybe necessarily upgrade it. Can do something a little bit different. This is a neat way to do this as well. Is it like have extra little summons on the field. It'd be kind of cool to have one of these as like for summoning extra heroes. That'd be kind of neat as well. All right, so we're gonna move along. Then we have our 4 scenarios. So this will give us 4 brand new scenarios. Of putting your behind in the past. 1 Dark Elf army. Scream of the Banshees, which is our champion, and then we have Here Comes the General. So like every other one, you get one that usually has a hero, one that has the champion, one that has the boss, and then the other stuff to deal with. Alright, so then what do we have for our enemies? We're going to start with these guys. So we have the Dark Elf Slayer, 1 and 2. Actually, I have these in the wrong order there. We have ones, we have 2 yellows, and we have 1 and 2. We have 2 yellows and 2 reds. So there are no greens. So a little bit harder difficulty in this one. But it's an expansion, so it's more noticeable. So what we're going to have here first is we're going to have our Razor Boars. So they'll have a little symbol on the bottom, just to denote that they are a Razor Boar. Both cards are the exact same. They do magic damage, have that armor. That's going to make that even more difficult because you can't have the same damage tiles on there. Razor Boars are a new type of enemy that may hurt other hordes. Whenever a Razor Boar jumps over a horde, put 2 are like regular damage. I think it's just like the little blast artillery looking damage on this horde. Whenever a horde is forced to retreat, a hero is forced to retreat by Razor Boar, deal 1 damage to this hero. After Razor Boar finishes its movement, move a horde ahead of Razor Boar 1 space forward. So yeah, he's gonna have definitely some issues to deal with. So he jumps over a horde, you're gonna put damage on that horde. So basically he steps on them guys. He pushes, if he has to move a hero, they have to be in the spot he lands on or moves to. They take extra damage instead of just getting pushed. And then he also steers the other guy another space forward, which is going to cause some issues there too. When a scenario you have to use Razor Boards, you just flip tokens. So this one you're just trying to defeat these guys. So they're kind of like Fire Claw in the base game. They're not quite champions, like they don't have their own special cards and special abilities, but they're almost a little bit more like mini bosses, but definitely makes something interesting to do with those. Then up comes our next set of horde cards. So these are the DS2, and we're going to get the drum beats and the banshee. They're going to be very painful enemies to deal with. So we have that one, and then we have this version of it. So the drum beats are the little guys with the little Wi-Fi signals by them. If one or more of your drum beat icons is visible after all hordes move, each non-drum beat horde adjacent to this horde moves forward 1 more time. Do not trigger any effects like speed icons, champions, anything else. So basically they're going to like speed guys suck because they move twice. This guy's going to basically tell everyone else to move. So if you don't take them out, they're going to move everybody else. And then the Banshee, the little purple spot, the little ghosty guy says, after a drumbeat horde is destroyed, so you can't cover those spots, the special ones, take a Banshee card and place it on the build site adjacent to the destroyed horde. The Banshee card must cover a tower if possible. The building site under the Banshee is considered to be blocked. You can't put or pick up any towers in this space until the Banshee is destroyed. You may attack a Banshee horde with either heroes or towers from any other building sites. Notice the available grid of the Banshee is only 3/3. No damage towers can be placed outside this grid. After Banshee is destroyed, if there's a tower in the building, retreat all heroes and other miniatures there, then pick it up as normal. So, before we look at the Banshee cards, we'll look at the second one, is we have our red ones, which have couple less drumbeat guys, still a few, but we also have our, what were they called? Twilight Evokers, which have heal all, so when they activate, they heal all damage on that tile, as well as anyone adjacent to them. So they're definitely a pain to deal with. Then we have 3 Banshee cards. So here are the Banshee cards. They have just a smaller spot in there. You just gotta cover up the Banshees. But they effectively block everything else. Again, this is a really cool idea. Like, they get another, one of the other expansions has that, where they have a guy that gets placed on top of towers. Because acknowledging it makes you have a different thing you have to align. Because normally your towers, you're just trying to attack the path. Now you have to start actually attacking tower areas to free up them spots. So it's a cool way to, like, block different areas of the board. Rather than just making more difficult enemy tiles that need more and more tiles, it makes it something different you have to deal with. And I actually like that. I think that's a really cool way to do it. So instead of just like, oh, okay, we're going to have 5 guys with true damage and 5 guys with like or magical resistance, 5 guys with physical resistance and speed and this. These guys aren't terribly difficult to deal with. They're only 5 tiles. But the fact is, now that they're not on the path, you might have to aim your tower in a different direction. Now, if you're aiming it towards another tower, it might not hit as many spots on the path. So if it can do multiple damage in tiles, it's all of a sudden not going to hit as many different areas. So yeah, it's kind of cool. A cool way to do that. Then we have our champion, who's listed as TB. For Twilight Brute, because that's who he is. I don't have any like extra special card for him. We just have his one where he shows up the Scream of the Banshee. But yeah, he'll use the champion cards like every other character does. So basically, he comes in. He's a big, giant, 9-square guy, has the armor on there, and he has a skull. So skulls will tell him what he does when he does a special ability. And he has his 3 different versions. His special ability is called Hooked Slam. It says deal 2 damage to all adjacent heroes. So maybe not like the super hardest guy to fight, but he's going to be a challenge nonetheless. So that's cool. Up last here, well, for our characters, we have our boss. So we'll throw him up there. And this is, I know I'm going to butcher his name again. It's like Benjamin. Baj Niemann, the Hateful. This guy's pretty epic. This is his miniature. I gotta zoom back out a little bit. This is a dark elf riding a big, giant centipede-like monster. That's just definitely cool. He's holding on to the horn there. I even love that. That's how he kind of hangs on. I like they even gave him, like, faces, even though, like, the card art, like, game art, they didn't really give guys faces too much because they're so minor. You know, you didn't really see them up close. But there's his first health card for damage. So it's just the middle section, but he does have 1 row of armor in there. And then his next one, his armor just grows. And then his last one, his armor just grows even more. So yeah, that's kind of a pain. Then he has 4 action cards instead of 5 like most characters. But he will have remove all damage tiles that are in an armored area of his card. That is terrible and mean. Damage, deal 1 damage to a hero that has Dark Storm and 1 damage to each hero adjacent to them. Destroy a tower adjacent to the hero that has Dark Storm. We'll grab Dark Storm here in a minute. Deal 1 damage to the hero that has Dark Storm and 1 damage to each hero adjacent to them. And then destroy a tower adjacent to the hero that has Dark Storm. So it says triggering him. It says, during phase 4, before you advance any hordes, Bajniman acts. Take Dark Storm tile and put it on any hero board. Draw the first card from the action deck, read it aloud. When his deck is empty, shuffle all discarded cards to the new deck. Yeah. And then you can move it from each time he triggers, you can move it to a different board. And I believe that would be, I have that in the tower and the tile box. Let me see if I can grab that quick. I think I have it in here. Oh, yeah. It's hiding in here. So we get a big 4-spot tile for the Dark Storm. So it just sits in the one spot in here for other characters and special scenarios in the box. Yeah, so that just goes on a character, then you do it, and you know it's gonna activate whatever hero it is next to. And then basically you just gotta beat him to win. So that is our main stuff. Then we also are going to get 4 Elemental Rift cards. So of course one is going to be for Bajiniming. Says when you put when Rift Bajiniming activates, put a Dark Storm on any hero's board, then deal 1 damage to this hero and all heroes adjacent, or destroy 1 tower adjacent to a hero. In a 2 to 3 or 2 to 4 player game, you have to move it to another hero each round. And then there is his damage. It's kind of fun because it stays like the same thing. He actually look at him, it actually becomes harder because now he has the outside spaces to deal with as well. Before some of them kind of blocked a little bit. But yeah, then his magical thing now goes right down or his armor goes down the middle. We can also summon the Twilight Brute, spawn a Twilight Brute from spawn point 2 and gain a crystal. Or we have the Razorback Charge. After Horde's advances, draw 1 of the first Razorback boars from the spawn deck and place it. So again, these Rift cards are what you, with your endgame scenario, after you've beaten all the scenarios you want to just play using all the content from the games. This will let you add your special enemies, your challenge, your champions, and your bosses into that mode. So every one you buy just adds more content to that replayability mode. And that's what we have for this. Now, a ton of stuff in there, but yeah, if you're looking for some new content, like I said, you're going to get some new tower mods, which are always fun to have, which have unique ways to play as them. Brand new hero, new boss, new champion, new Rift cards. Yeah, so definitely some fun stuff there if you're looking at picking up just a smaller expansion with a couple extra stuff. Played the base game, just like a little bit more. Don't want to get too much at one time. There you go. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Check out the other expansions. See you guys later. Bye.